Hey everyone, and welcome to Facebook Live. I'm John Deere from the Deere's Embroidery Legacy, and I am super excited about today. I've been excited all day long because this Facebook Live is going to be a little bit different than all the rest in that I really don't have anything kind of scripted. I don't really have any points laid out. This is just a meet the Deers, and I have a feeling I might be sleeping on the couch. My children may not talk to me for a long time, but it's going to be fun anyways. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. Right? Let us know where you're from. Welcome everybody, and just let us know where you're checking in from. And also, I do want to give away let's do 3 door prizes. So we're going to give away some free stuff because I found out years ago people like me more when I give away free stuff. So if you would like to win a door prize, right now type in the word free right after you let us know where you're checking in from. And a little later on, we'll give away, let's do 3 spots on our Halloween party that we're having on, when is it? It is October the 3rd. Yeah. Okay, on October 3rd, we have a party coming up, and we are doing actually 3 in the hoop projects, and we have a little bonus that I'm going to show you a little later on as well that is a surprise that you're going to be hearing about first here. I want to welcome all of the replay people that are going to be checking this out afterwards. But just type in the word free and let us know where you're from. Can we see where anyone's from right now, Jennifer? I do have Jennifer Deere here. It's kind of amazing because this was a Meet the Deers, and Jennifer had kind of conveniently made other plans, and she wasn't going to be able to be here, unfortunately. But God has a sense of humor because her appointment that she thought she had was much earlier than she expected, and she's back. So Jennifer Deere is here, and we're going to meet the kids in a couple minutes. Do we know where anyone's coming in from, Jen?
Yep, and Tasmania, Australia.
Tasmania, in Australia, in England.
New Jersey,
Michigan. Well, welcome everybody. And James will let us know. Maybe James, I know James is listening. James, when you come on, how about you pick the 3 winners and you can announce the winners a little later on when James comes on. This whole Facebook Live, like I said, is a little different. I'm not going to really be teaching anything, but I wanted to give a little bit of history. Our YouTube video that we did earlier this week, I explained a little bit about my kids coming into the business and that my daughters now come into the business full time. So all 3 of the kids are with us full time now. And I also mentioned that it was never really my intention to have them be a part of the family business because I kind of felt that I was, kind of born into it and expected to do this. But to give you a little bit of an idea, because I've been getting nostalgic in the last little while, and maybe it's because of COVID, this whole thing where we kind of our lives have changed abruptly, or at least mine has. This is actually the longest time Jennifer and I have actually been together in 25 years. Wouldn't you say, Jen?
Uh-huh.
Like literally 25 years, we have not had 6 consecutive months when we've been together, and that has changed. And in a positive way, it's given me a little bit more time to reflect and get a little bit more structure in my life, and give me, I guess, a heart or something. If you're feeling the same way, I actually, get up, I do my devotions, I go for my walk, I do thinking, I think about business, and I get to do that every single day. And that's been a bit of a blessing. With regards to work, I've also had a little bit of a problem in my life because I've never been able to separate kind of family from work. They've kind of gone hand in hand, wouldn't you say, Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a workaholic, but that comes from my upbringing. And just to give you guys a little bit of a look into how things were when I was growing up, my grandparents did immigrate right after World War II, came to Canada, and they worked in an embroidery factory in Toronto. And then in 1959, they actually started their company, which was Dress Crest Embroidery Company Limited. And they came on the boat, just my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my aunt. I don't know if my aunt was even born, if she was born in Canada, but anyways, our family was really, really small. It was just my grandparents, my mother, and my aunt. And then, of course, I came into the picture. Well, when I was a kid, we really didn't have any extended family that was with us. I didn't have cousins. I didn't have brothers or sisters or siblings. We didn't have aunts or uncles, but I did have a ton of aunts and uncles because the group of people that my grandparents came on the boat with, they were my Uncle Herman, my Tante Marga, my Aunt Helen, my Uncle Gert, and we just had a ton of aunts that weren't actually my aunts, but they were people that my grandparents immigrated with. And even in our factories, and we had 2 factories, but in the original factory, we probably had 30 employees, and they were people that worked with my grandparents, and they were actually kind of treated like part of the family. And I do appreciate that about my grandmother and my grandfather. They actually had a very hard work ethic. They tried to be honest, and the people that worked for them, they lived in the same neighborhood, and they really respected the employees, and the employees in turn respected them. So as a kid, I had all of these family members. They were my surrogate family. So anyways, my first job was actually on the gluing table in our factory, our original factory. We had 4 Shifley machines. We had a table where we'd span up 10 yards of fabric, and you'd actually take Pellon and buckram, and you'd span up the fabric to put on the machines. We used to put wax on the fabric so the needles would slide through the fabric easier when you were making emblems. And that table was standing up. So even though we didn't know what being ergonomically correct was in those days, we had people doing jobs certain part of the day where they'd be standing, and all they'd be doing is actually putting the glue on the back of the tails of their emblem. So if I have an emblem here, which I do, there's actually on the back of the emblem, there's a little tail on the marrow. The marrow machine would create that marrow bordered edge, and the little tail was actually glued down by people one at a time on this gluing table. Well, that was my first job when I was a kid. I was sat on the table because I think I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I got paid 1 penny for every tail that I glued down. And I usually worked about 25 tails worth, or 25 cents, because then my aunt and I would walk up to Frank's Variety Store, which was at the corner of Yonge Street and Athabasca, and I would buy candy from the penny jars, and that was my work day. So that's what I kind of remember as a kid. And I also remember, and this is something else I've been thinking about on my walks, as much as things are really terrible now, and I know that people are just facing all kinds of problems with separation from family, and it's we can get really down and concerned, and we can have our kids going back to school, and all of that is, and grandkids, and it's all happening now, and I know it's very worrisome, but I do really, really feel blessed that we have this. I mean, we are in a time where we can connect with each other, and even though we might be a little isolated, we have some unique opportunities. And I remember when I was really, really small, when my grandparents immigrated from Europe to Canada, it wasn't until probably the early 70s until her parents and brothers, or my grandmother's sisters and their husbands, were able to come to Canada to visit. And I remember even as a small child, we had a package come from Germany 1 time a year, and we would get a phone call, long distance, crackly phones, 1 time a year at Christmas. And that was the only time that my grandmother got to speak to her family. My grandmother still is with us. She's in her 90s. And, if you think about Embroidery Legacy, please pray for my grandmother. She is battling cancer right now. And it's a hard time for us as well. But anyways, she's still with us, and we love her. She got to witness her great-great-grandchildren. My daughter's boys got to meet their great-great-grandmother, so it is a blessing. But I do remember those times, and I remember that not being able to connect with people was the normality back then. Now we're able to get together and talk and socialize on Facebook. I'm able to see my grandkids every day. So there is a silver lining in this. It's just that we are able to do what we do. Now, to talk about the legacy, it started with my grandparents and my mother. My mother was my boss for many years. We had 2 factories. We had 136 multi-heads. We had 4 Shifley machines. We sort of transitioned from the emblems and dress apparel, yard goods, into multi-head embroidery, into becoming a digitizing house, going into the home market, and actually doing what we do now, which is creating embroidery designs. And now we've transitioned into education. And I spent the last 15 years of my life actually doing events for Baby Lock and Brother, I guess more so than any others, but that was really my life on the road, was teaching, and it was kind of great. But I do want to introduce the first deer. The first year is actually probably kind of the most important one because she is the love of my life. And she actually is my wife, which that's a good thing, right? Because I have a German Shepherd here. Her name is Daisy, and my wife sometimes gets jealous because I really do love Daisy. But Jennifer, you are the love of my life. And Jennifer and I met when she was 15 and I was 17, and she actually is, in my opinion, the glue that holds our business together. She actually keeps control of all of us. She runs our finances, and she just does an incredible job. Do you want to? This is such a rare moment. I have been wanting to get Jennifer.
No, I changed my mind.
She changed her mind. Okay. If you get hearts. There she is. Yay. Okay. There's my
everyone.
My beautiful wife, Jennifer, is finally with it. So my first question
with you?
Well, she's with the camera thing. Okay. So my first question is, for Jennifer, is how awesome is it to work with your husband every day for all these years?
Great.
Yeah, but anyways, I have to, pay respect where all respect is due. Jennifer is kind of the first deer that has been with us for a long, long time, and she's seen us through the good times and the bad, and she is the reason why we have all the other little deers as well. I do want to make mention as well that Leanne McKinnon is, I guess, our adoptive deer in the family. If you've ever called our toll-free number or had support, Leanne is the person who does that. And she has known or been with us since my hair was brown, and actually since the kids were tiny, since they were little. So Leanne, if you're watching, we love you, and she is definitely part of our family. But I do need to put in my headphones now so I can bring in some of the other ears. No, don't go anywhere. You just stay right here. You're doing fine.
Just so you know, John actually did teach me how to digitize years ago, and that almost ended the relationship right there.
Yeah, that actually was a little, I guess, trying on our marriage, was me teaching her how to digitize, because it was the old school way. But
it was John thinking he was the boss when really,
Okay, no hearts or anything, okay, guys? I don't want any hearts on this, but anyways, it is great because Jennifer knows her stuff. She knows the business, and she actually does know how to digitize, although the equipment's changed a little bit since then, because she was actually board-based at that point, so it was a long, long time ago. So I'm going to bring the first deer in, which is actually Jessie deer, and let's see if Jessie can come in on this. Yay, there's Jessie.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, so anyways, Jesse is my oldest son, and I'm bringing Jesse in first because it was, I guess, what was it, just almost 6 years ago now?
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah, so 6 years. So we are this year 61 years in business, and I got to be honest with you, 6 years ago when Jesse joined us full time, it was actually at a point where I was at a personal low in my career. I had transitioned from doing events to realizing that wasn't working as well as it used to, and I was trying to get things going online. And Jesse had been very successful in his personal career after finishing university. And lo and behold, he came to me and said and asked if he could join the business and if I would mentor him, which was probably one of the proudest moments of my life. And I had the same question for you, Jesse. How awesome is it to work with your dad every day?
All right, before I answer that question, just to give you all a bit of suspense, apparently my video isn't showing up because you're on spotlight mode.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. Where is James? James needs to, okay, hold on. I am going to go on pin mode. Okay, is Jesse there now? That was my technical problem.
Let's see. I'm not seeing it, but.
No. James, can you confirm if Jesse's on there?
Yeah, we're all good now. Sorry about that.
Okay, we're good. Okay, awesome. So Jesse, you're there. Now answer that very important question. How awesome is it to work with your dad?
All right, so take out your headphones real quick, and I'm playing. No, we, it's family business, so we of course do operate like a family. Sometimes families don't get along so well, but in general, we love each other. We make sure we treat each other with respect, and it's a pretty great relationship all in all.
Yeah, and I got to admit, Jesse and I did spend a few years traveling on the road when he first came on within the business, and he is our marketing director. He's the guy who really has gotten us where we were to where we are now. And I'm really appreciative of that and of him, because he's done a brilliant job. But when you first started with us on the road, we were doing a lot of events. And how do you feel that, had an impact on your learning the industry?
Honestly, I think it propelled us to new heights. Reason being is you can look online, and it's, of course, very helpful to look in the Facebook groups and see what everyone's saying. But to actually sit down with the customers and get them to, I guess, express what they're feeling and how we can better help and serve them, there's just really nothing that could replace that. So I think for us, at least, one of the biggest examples is our brand new website. That was a lot of, I guess, learning from what you had to say, what we could improve, how to make it user friendly. And yeah, there's no substitution for that face-to-face.
Yeah, and getting this old dog into a new world, because Jesse did get to a point where he said to me, as we were at an event, he said to me, "Dad, what in the world were you thinking?" Because apparently I had confused people for years. Jesse kind of brought us all under one roof, and it did take you probably like 3 or 4 years to get our sites all together.
Yeah, so when we first started, we actually had 3 different websites. So kind of combining them all into one was not the easiest task, but definitely well worth it. So now it's digitizingmadeeasy.com for those of you who don't know. And yeah, we're constantly making new and making more improvements to it.
Yeah, and I think one of our biggest, I guess, things that we've done recently, and this is also getting us into where we are right now, is we had just by chance arranged to do our first virtual workshop of February in this year. And that took us about 6 months to really get everything in place for it. And we had no idea what was going to happen. But as things turned out, it was, kind of the wave of the future without us even knowing that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were very blessed. We actually had the concept of the first virtual digitizing workshop. And then, it's unfortunate for us all that COVID happened, but at least we weren't left completely in the dark. So we're very thankful we planned that beforehand.
Now, Jesse, also, I just want to mention that Jesse's a real trooper that he's here. He might look a little bit dark under his eyes because he actually was very, very sick on Monday, just recuperating yesterday. And we thank God it wasn't COVID, because you went and got a test, but you have strep throat. So if you do need to leave us early, I understand, because you have taken a break from being in bed to be with us right now. So that's
here's
awesome.
the thing. They gave me the choice. They said, "Do you want to spend time with your family or lie in bed?" So naturally I said lie in bed. I'm kidding. I love my family.
Yeah, me too. And actually, that's been one of the hardest things for me, is I got to spend so much time with my sons on the road recently, and had such a great time that being in lockdown, as much as it's been awesome to be with my wife for the last 6 months, and I mean that, Jen. So yeah, thank you. But it was just awesome being with the boys. And James, do you want to come on right now? Now, if you saw a picture, you can stay on it for a second if you want, Jess, or you can leave whenever you want. But if you saw a picture of James in the picture that we posted last year when Beth got married, James was actually had a very short haircut, and he has taken the whole COVID experience very seriously. There he is. So, and I personally like the beard. I like the do, all that. James, you got the man bun going, right? Is that, have they named that now? The COVID bun? Is that what it's called now?
That's what it is in my life, at least. But.
Okay. Well, James actually joined us a couple years ago, and that was also, just a huge blessing to us, because if I think about my kids, Jesse has always been the deep thinker. He's kind of been a strategist, and that's just the way his mind has always worked. And him doing what he does is really good, because he's great at it. In the same way, James has always been the very creative one in the family with regards to music and art and videos and digitizing. I got to show this real quick, because I do have a picture here in my book. James, you knew you weren't going to get away with this. So here we go, right here. Actually, I might have to get Jennifer to find it. Yes, where is it, Jennifer? But I have a picture of James. Here he is, James Deere as a little boy.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. My dad actually started teaching me how to digitize when I was only 7 years old. And I've kept up ever since. It's been a great way to interact with him and get used to digitizing. And then I started making skateboarding videos when I was 12. So naturally, everything came together. Now I'm in charge of video editing for the Embroidery Legacy and social media directing. So yeah, it's been lots of fun. And learning so much.
And we did have huge plans at the beginning of this year. We actually had our ZSK machine delivered to our studio, and we actually right now are in the process of moving to a new studio and getting lots more equipment going. So James has been really busy getting that kind of moving forward. We want to, just have more content with regards to In the Hoops. The biggest hurdle has been that I've been stuck here in Costa Rica, and I had planned to be all summer in Canada this year, and it just hasn't turned out that way. So you always have to look to the bright side of things, and we are still moving forward with our plans. And James, you're doing an awesome job with our videos and all of our content, and it's going to be getting better soon. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, James, about what you do?
I just have a lot of fun. That's all I really wanted to say. But
Awesome.
Working with my dad has been a pretty fun experience. I've learned he's a bigger adult than I am. So
a what? Huh?
A bigger adult.
Adult. Sorry, go ahead, Jess.
I was just gonna say, I feel like James missed the first crucial question there. He was very smart in the way he bypassed it. But James, how is it working with Dad for you?
It's been interesting. Like I said, I've learned he's a adult. So sometimes it feels like I'm arguing with a little brother, not a dad. But besides that, it's been lots of fun, and I've learned so much about digitizing and embroidery from him. So.
Well, now you know what your mother's had to put up with all these years. James just called me a kidult. Jennifer can't hear what's going on right now, and it's probably a good thing. But he's telling me I'm a little childish in my ways. Is that true, Jennifer? She's being really quiet. Okay. Anyways, all good. But yeah, that's awesome. Now, this brings us to our next family member who has just joined the team, and that is my daughter, Beth Deer. Her last name is different now, but she still is her I guess studio name is going to be Beth Deer because it's the Deer's Embroidery Legacy. And Beth, if you want to, what's that? Oh, Bethany. Bethany is her name. She goes by Beth, but Mom was over there going, Bethany. Beth is actually been kind of in the business almost the longest out of all three of my kids because she was doing events with me many years ago. She did a lot of events, even through university and stuff like that. Beth, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey. Okay. There we go. Hey, Beth.
Hey.
Awesome. So you are the new addition to the team, and
well, new and old.
Yeah, the new and old.
Well, I'm not old, but
okay. I can tell it's actually mini me. Actually, Jen, can you come back in here for a second? Just 1 second, because we always call Beth mini Jennifer, mini me, because they are like little clones of each other. And yeah, it's awesome. I'm a blessed man. But with Beth is actually going to be the new face of a lot of our videos. She's going to be doing a lot of the content, the In the Hoop projects, which we are scaling up to. We're going to have a lot of designs that are going to be sewing out on machines and new techniques. I'm going to kind of be virtually getting my 2 cents in there because I'm the guy who knows the most about embroidery, but we are separated by about 3,000 miles right now. So we're going to be working together virtually by doing a lot of these creations. So with Beth, I'm going to tell a little story about you, Beth, if that's all right.
Uh-oh. Well, it depends.
Okay. Well, see, I got 3,000 miles between me right now. So we're
well,
safe.
like I'll see you eventually. So
okay. Well, I'm not scared. Listen, if your mother hasn't, okay, anyway, okay, I better go on. Anyways, actually, the thing with Beth is obviously very outgoing, and she is a people person like her mom. But she also is incredibly smart and fast. And part of what you're going to be structuring within the legacy, I think, is going to be doing what? What are you going to try to I was trying to lead you into
I'm bossy?
Maybe a little bit, but are you going to try to organize your brothers? Because that's what you've done your entire life?
Yeah, I can do that.
Beth, if you're not saying you're bossy, then I'll go out and say it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Beth is going to be actually being on the videos, but she's going to try to organize our social media and keep all of us doing our jobs. It's kind of funny because Mom does all of that within the administrative side, and now Beth's going to do all of that in the social media side. So it really is, in my opinion, the dream team now. But the story I was going to tell, Beth, you're not getting off the hook that easy, was when Beth was about I don't know, maybe 14 or 15 years old, we were actually in our office on Bayfield Street in Barrie. We actually had Punch Perfect running at the time, which was digitizing designs. And we had like 500 customers globally. I had a team of digitizers, and we were looking for somebody to do data entry within our website at the time. And our web developer, which was full-time with us, we were actually bringing in and interviewing a whole bunch of university students and giving them a test to do. And they were all doing okay. But then Lori, our person who was running things at that time, said, well, why don't we try Beth? And Beth, you were basically a kid, but she got in there and basically blew all of them away. And we knew at that point that you were going to be a force to be reckoned with, which is why God has given you 2 boys, right, Beth?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, anything you want to add, Beth, to what you're going to be kind of doing? I know I filled people in for the most part, but.
I'm just going to be tying up loose ends pretty much. So I'm just going to be doing everything from the social media to the content development to customer support. So pretty much just a bunch of different things, just helping to put it all together.
Yeah. And you're going to be on video a whole bunch.
Yep, she's going to be helping me make lots of new videos for everybody.
Yeah. See, we found out that James can't actually film and be on screen at the same time. It's physically impossible, and cloning is not legal in Canada. So,
well, I don't know if we can handle that much beard, so or hair.
Okay. Well, anyways, so you
One
can
thing
see
I'll
this.
point out as well that is really exciting about Beth being on board with us is we are going to be running more Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives, and as a consequence, giving away some more free stuff. So,
Oh, cool. Well,
if you
how
haven't
about
already,
we?
be sure to follow us on all of our social channels, and yeah, we'll reward you for doing it.
And that's why Jesse is our marketing director. Good plug, my son. Yeah, and speaking of free, did you have any names for the? Now, keep in mind, we're going to give away some spots to our Halloween party that's coming up in October the 3rd, and it's only $12.95 if you want to join up, and that gives you the 3 in the Hoop projects. Plus, we have a bonus design. Actually, yeah, there's the Jacko sack. I love Jacko sack because this is going to be one of them where you get to actually, and I play with this way too much, don't I, Jesse? I'm not showing those yet because we haven't.
Kid doll that James mentioned, by the way.
Yeah. I was doing all these things. I'd call the kids on Skype and I'd actually start talking through my little thing here. And that went on for about 4 or 5 days, I think. And then it got a little old, not for me, but for the kids. So, James, did you actually pick anybody to win? We're going to give away 3 spots.
Names.
3 names. Okay. Now, keep in mind, if you are already signed up, we can't give you a refund for your ticket, but you can be a really awesome person and you could gift this to one of your embroidery friends. So if you haven't signed up, then yeah, you're in the party, but otherwise you'll still get the ticket and maybe you can gift it to one of your better embroidery friends. So James, go ahead.
Absolutely. So the first winner is Doug Sobel. Second, we have Kat Weller. And third, we have Charlene Moen. So I'll go ahead and comment those names in the stream and we'll get in touch with you guys.
Awesome. And just so you can see, we do have a bonus. And I think Beth is actually wearing the bonus, if I'm not mistaken. Beth, do you have it on?
Yep, and it glows in the dark.
It glows in the dark.
But I'm not in the dark, so
okay.
You can't tell. But
yeah, let's stand up for one more second. 2020 is Boo Sheet, and it's actually done for a t-shirt and all that. So that is, and I'll just put my thing up, that is going to be a bonus design that's going to be in your classroom along with Jacko sack, the scary eye sack, and the zombie eye mask. So those are all the things that you get for the party. It's going to be an awesome party, just so you know, because we are going to be showing you how to do all these in the hoop projects, but we also have a coffin show. And just in case you didn't know, and oops, there it is. Yes, there we go. We do have John Ross is going to be filling in. I can't make it. And just so everybody knows, I definitely respect Mr. Ross, so I'm not trying to make fun of him in any way. This is hopefully comes across as an endearing thing, but I do have the costume and he will, or I will be there. So it's going to be lots of fun. If you haven't already, get your submissions in because we did give you files when you signed up to do the contest. We actually supplied some designs so that you could create your own pillow or your own I guess, Halloween bag or whatever you want, project, whatever you want to do. And you'll want to submit that to us within 3 days of the live webinar. And we're going to have prizes, and the grand prizes, you know, pretty cool. You can get a diamond membership, but you have to have those in. Currently, I checked this morning, we have 3 people who have submitted their project so far. So the odds are really good for them. I know we have hundreds of people signed up, so you'll want to make sure you get your submissions in so you have a chance to win that contest. Guys, do you have anything to say about the Halloween webinar?
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you going to dress up, Beth?
Yeah,
Okay,
I could.
okay, yeah, maybe we'll do this too. We'll bring in the kids. You all have to dress up. Jesse, if your health hasn't gotten better, you can just leave the dark circles under your eyes. And
You can be a vampire.
and James, we can work out something, the Wolfman, to go with the beard or something like that. So we're all ready. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's a good thing you know better than to make up a costume for Mom. So he's learning everyone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Mom's. I'm not bringing Mom into this. Luckily, actually, we're talking, and Mom can't hear a word that's being said, so I'm okay right now. But when the replay goes up,
Yeah, just fast forward that part for me, all right?
then that's gonna be fun. Anyways, and I did just also want to let you guys know, because you know, I can't emphasize this enough, but this is, you know, the Deers Embroidery legacy. We do love what we do. I've been doing this for a long time, my whole life, and I actually do consider it a privilege to share what I was blessed with when I was, you know, younger. And I do want to kind of do a call out to some of our customers, because especially during these COVID times, and the kids know about this, we've just had really nice emails from people saying how we've kind of impacted some of their lives in very small ways. And some of you feel that we've actually had a positive impact in your situations. And we've actually had gifts sent to us from like New Zealand, you know, so just it's just awesome. And it is such a privilege to do this as a job, but actually feel that we're doing something that has some real meaning. So it's not just a business for us. It's actually really good. So anyways, would you guys agree? Thumbs up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, 2 thumbs, Jesse. Didn't you see the cue? Everybody had 2 thumbs. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now a little bit of tiny little housekeeping, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to let you guys go if you want. I'll pin myself back, and then I'm just going to tell everybody. Did we have any questions or anything? Or okay, I don't know if we'll have time for questions, and I don't want to keep you guys too long, but yeah, James will be putting up all the links and everything. And thank you, Beth, and thank you, Jesse, for joining me.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Okay, so anyways, that's my kids. I am a blessed man. And if you do get a chance to join us for our Halloween party, again, it is actually on October the 3rd. Also, just so you know, we have a couple other things that are coming up. We have our How to Make Money with Embroidery, and that is actually a full day event. We have guest speakers coming in, Jennifer Cox from NNEP. We have a couple people from ZSK coming in. They're going to be sharing their knowledge on machines and maintenance and all that good stuff. So we're really looking forward to that. We also have our 3rd virtual dream course that is coming up, and that is actually on the 7th, and that is a 2-week kind of webinar where we have 3 webinars and lessons in between. So we're going to be doing that in November as well. And then we do have more webinars that are going to be coming up very soon as well. So we are living a virtual world right now, and I think this is going to be the way things are for a little while to come. Jennifer and I just found out that we are kind of here in Costa Rica probably until March now, it's looking like. That's when they've extended all of the visas. So wherever you are, please stay safe. And, you know, again, if we can support you in any way whatsoever, please let us know. Are we good, Jennifer?
Okay.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I need to do this. I need to go back to full camera. And one last time, can you just come in here and say goodbye to everybody? No. Come here one more time.
All right.
Awesome. And this is such a rare moment. I've been like trying to do this for years.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yes, my beautiful wife.
We will pay for it.
I know I'll pay for it, but it's okay. And I love you, and we love you guys. So thank you very much for joining us today. Take care.
Bye.